Today, we're going to talk about decalcifying your water heater. It's a small process. It's not a difficult one. But, here's what I've been seeing lately. Cold water is tasty still, and it's clear. Hot water, I don't drink it from the faucet, but with hot water comes out and it's kind of cloudy. I've tried a couple of things. I tried putting new filters in my Blue Tech fresh water. A 3-stage water filtration system, and I backflushed and regenerated the water softener. But I still get the same thing. What I have not done in a year and a half, and it should be done annually, but what I haven't done is decalcified the water heater. So today we're going to go through those steps of decalcifying your water heater. And it might not seem that important, but your element inside, it's not supposed to be covered in calcium. It can't heat the water up properly, okay, when it's coated in calcium. And you have all of that calcium floating around inside of there. Of course, some is going to come out in your water, maybe not the huge chunks, but you will get some. It'll clog the screens in your faucets and all of that. So it needs to go away. Also, when you shower, because the calcium is after the filter, you see, so you can't stop it unless you put a filter between your water heater and your faucets, and no one does that. So it is necessity, decalcification. So we're going to go outside. We're going to do a decalcification on the water heater. Hopefully it won't take long. We're at Nellis Air Force Base at the FAM camp, at Desert Eagle FAM camp. And if you hear a lot of noise, there are jets, fighter jets here flying around, and there are other things going on outside besides me videoing. So, can't stop the noise. I'll try and pause if it comes through, but, we'll work with it. All right. I'm going to see y'all outside on the utility side of the RV. Before I get started, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all what you're going to need to get it done. All right. So the first thing we're going to need is white distilled vinegar. Distilled white vinegar, whatever order you put it in. You're going to need a funnel. You're going to need your wand to rinse the water out of your, the calcium out of your the water heater. You're going to need a short stretch of hose. This one's kind of long. If you can get one shorter than this, that'd be great. You're going to need a new anode rod. You're going to need plumber's tape. This fitting, I ordered mine on Amazon. I'll put a link to it below. But on the inside, it's a 3/4 inch GHT connection. And GHT simply means garden hose thread. So it's a 3/4 inch garden hose thread, because this is going to thread onto here. And on the outside is a 3/4 inch NTP thread, and that means national pipe thread. So it's a 3/4 inch national pipe thread and a 3/4 inch GHT thread. And you can see it right here as well. All right. You're going to need 2 sockets. One, the 1 1/16 socket I'm sorry, the 1 1/4 socket fits this, all right? And the 1 1/16 socket fits your anode rod, all right? And you're also going to need a ratchet and an extension, all right? That's pretty much it. Now, the next thing you're going to need to do, the first thing you're going to need to do, if you have an electric water heater, then you want to make sure the electric is turned off inside. All right, turn your electric off or pull a fuse on your water heater. The only reason that electric is on inside is for the water heater. So just turn the electric off. And if you want to remove the fuse, remove the fuse. The other thing you're going to do when you come out here and remove your cover, you're going to want to turn off the switch to your water heater right here. All right? Now, understand, if you have not let the thing cool down, the water is hot. Okay? Okay, I think the last thing I said is the water is hot. I had to stop because a jet was flying over. That was the warning I gave y'all. So the water is going to be hot. So you're going to want to be careful when you do this. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back one. On your Nautilus system, all right, what you're going to want to do is put the heater in bypass mode. So your red knob, you're going to want to turn the red knob to the right. All right, when you turn this red knob to the right, it puts the water heater in bypass mode. So when you're winterizing, you don't shoot any antifreeze into your water heater. So everything's off. The water heater is in bypass mode. So the water, when I start draining it, the city water that's on right now will not start going into the water heater. You'll still have water inside, cold water, but you won't have any water going to the water heater. All right, so I'm going to depressurize it here with this pressure valve. Just open it slowly. Let pressure and water come out. And go ahead and keep it open. All right, then you're going to want to take your socket and ratchet here for that, and just take your time and loosen it up slowly. All right. Now, a good thing to do is put a glove on, right? And I'm going to show you how to do it without catching hot water all over your leg and everything, all right? And hopefully it works, all right? So you're going to loosen up your anode rod, all right, right here. I'm going to loosen that up, all right? And you see the water's coming. Oh, look at that. Now watch this water when I pull this anode rod out. All right. It's already looking crazy. But this is what's coming through the faucets. Look how that water looks coming out of there. And that's the anode rod. That's not bad, actually. There's still a lot of life left on this anode rod, but it's still going to be changed. The next thing you're going to do, because you have all of that stuff in the bottom, is you want to take your little flushing wand here and just go in and flush out some of it. You're not going to get all of it, all right? It's just a little piece of plastic one, and by no means is it going to do, you know, the cleaning job you need, but you want to get some of that stuff out of there. So you can turn it on and just put it in and go to work. And look at this. See this here? That's one of the one of the chunks that's the calcium in there. That's what all of that stuff is in there. All right. Let the rest of that drain out. You want to put a little bit of plumber's tape on the fitting that's going to go in. All right. Now, when you put plumber's tape on, important thing here, all right? You put this on going counterclockwise when the threads are facing away from you. Put it on going counterclockwise. All right, that way when you put it in and tighten it down, you won't cause the tape to unravel, and you'll get a good seal. And all you need is about 3 wraps, you know, because it's not going in permanently. All right, so counterclockwise, because when you put it in, you're putting it in and you're tightening it clockwise. All right, and then you want to go ahead and, oh, no, not that one, that's, no, I'm sorry, that's this one here. Then you want to go ahead and snug this on down. All right. It doesn't have to be tightened like it's going to be permanent, but just snug it down. I had to make a couple of adjustments. Normally, my shutoff valve is a straight valve, one end in, one end out. I couldn't find that one, so I thought I'd use this Y. However, when I put it in here, it won't turn. So what I needed to do was find a connection here to make this work. So I got a quick connect here that I'm going to take this quick connect and screw it in here like that and get it down good and snug. I'll screw this end on here. I'm not going to tighten it up until I get it in here though. And well, it ain't going to really matter. Because once I get it in there, I can turn it. So I'll get that tightened up. And now I have that connection here, and this shutoff valve is important to the process. All right, so then now I'm going to take my water hose here, and this water hose is going to go on this end. All right. All right, and I want the valve to be open right now. And putting this back on here. I'm seeing this being used for the first time, just like y'all. And here comes the jet. But at least it's going to cover the conversation that this guy is having on his phone. Yeah, it's kind of like choosing my poison, jet or his conversation. I choose the jet. All right. My trusty genius is back with the tape. And it's enough tape that it will not only act as a piece of tape, it'll be a handle. All right, so Now, just time to get the pouring. And you want to save these bottles. Save the bottles because when you drain the water, unlike the water, you want to capture the vinegar. You want to recapture the vinegar. That's why you want to use this this shut-off valve here, so you can turn it off and on when it comes time to draining the vinegar back into the bottle. You can put it in here, put it back in the bottle. You don't want the vinegar to go all over the ground, because then your place is going to smell like salt and vinegar potato chips, and like the seat of the truck, because I don't want them to have a leak. But yeah, so you want to capture the water, you want to capture the vinegar back in the bottles. So we're going to go ahead and pour. And it sounds like it's going in. Well, it's not coming out of the funnel, so I'm pretty sure it's going in. We got a little bit of a leak. There's one. Thank you. Okay. There's one. Let me make sure it's not leaking out of here. You'd know it if it was. You can just smell it. You don't have to find it. Here's two. Hey, this is part of RVing, man. I mean, really, you can take this to a shop and have it done, or pay somebody to come and have it do it for you. But yeah, it's going to cost you. Hold on, let me take a break here. It's going to cost you, and it's going to cost you a lot of money to do something that you can actually do yourself, you know. And I mean, if I had to pay all the money to do the stuff that I've done myself, I wouldn't have even bothered. And you know, I say, and you know, proudly, you know, if you can't do a little bit of maintenance on some stuff, don't RV, because you're gonna find yourself in a situation where you're gonna have to do something, and if you don't want to do it, or you don't know how to do it and don't want to learn, then you're just going to be stuck, and you're going to pay a lot of money, and then you're going to take your RV and you're going to set it someplace, and it's just going to rot and rust, and you know, many telling me to shut up.
And it all depends on where you're at when something happens. You may not have anybody near for days or whatever to come and fix something for you. So if it's something basic and you can fix it, be ready to fix it.
Yeah, so whenever that RV rolls, have a mindset that you can fix it, and have your tools so you can be able to do what you need to do. Just important. And even if you can't, even if you're not able to do what you need to do, and somebody may come along who can do it but don't have the tools, but you do. Or somebody else may need some help and don't have tools, and you'll have them. So it's always a good thing. All right. I'm glad that wasn't full.
No, that's why it fell, because it was empty.
Yep.
Ooh, what's that? Coming out top?
Yep.
You got too many?
Yep. That's awesome. There you go. So I needed 10 gallons. I got 10 gallons of water in here. 10 gallons of vinegar in here. All right. I'm going to shut off the valve now. All right. With the valve shut off, I can take my hose off. Don't really need to. I'll just leave it here like that. And then I'm going to ask my trusty assistant to run inside and turn on the electric. Yes, please. Now, the reason you're going to turn on the electric, heat the vinegar up. It'll make the process go faster. right? All right, I just heard the electric get turned on. All right, and now I'm going to turn on the switch down here. And I'm going to say, Siri, 45 minutes.
45 minutes starting now.
It's been 5 hours later, a little less than 5 hours. And here's why I want to use the hose set up like this. So the first time I opened it up, I just had water come out. This time I'm going to have vinegar come out. So instead of putting vinegar on the ground and having the whole place smell like, 10 gallons of vinegar, then I'm going to use the hose to put the vinegar back in the jugs. That's why I have this, that's why I have the shut-off valve on here. All right, so first thing I'm going to do here is open up the pressure valve. Well, first thing I want to do actually is, first thing I'm going to do is let some of the vinegar out. So when I open up the pressure valve, I don't have the vinegar run down. All right, so I'm going to open up the, not the pressure, yeah, the thing here, and let it flow out. So I've got vinegar flowing, filling up like that. And now, see, it's stopped, it's slowed, so I can open this up a little bit at a time. And now it's open. All right. And there's one. Oop. There's one. And then there's two. And I'm sure vinegar is not going to hurt the ground. It won't hurt the soil. But still, at the same time, it wasn't in the soil when I started, so I don't want to leave it when I'm finished. Got that done. Now, remove my disconnect here. And then, see, can I get that out? That out. Now I'm going to take this connector out that I put in. And with that out, then take the wand, get it in there and rinse it out. What I'm going to do is put the old one back in, and I'm going to let it fill up. I'm going to let it fill, and then I'll pull the old one out again. And let the water rush out. Yeah, you can turn it off. I'm sorry. I don't want it to get hot. I just want it to fill. So I'm letting it fill up a little bit, but you'll see when I turn the air on, when I open up this valve, you'll hear air coming out. That means it's filling up. And then when it starts coming out, I'm just going to pull that anode rod out. But I'm going to go ahead and prep this one. Go ahead and prep this anode rod. And again, when the threads are facing from you, then you want to thread it counterclockwise. Okay, so you see I got water coming out right here. So let's go ahead and close that up. And I'm letting some pressure build. Now, I don't want the water to keep coming out while I'm doing this, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in bypass mode again. That way I stop the water from flowing to it. Or, you know, I have valves on my hoses here. I could have shut that off too, but bypass mode is what I want y'all to get to the point of using. If you don't have a bypass mode on your RV, if you don't have the Nautilus system for bypass mode, then all you have to do is shut off the water to the RV, so water don't go to the water heater. All right, so let's go ahead and let pressure out. And let's go ahead and take out that old anode rod again. And
what was the reason for using the old rod right now instead of the new rod?
just so I can plug it. So now the water is crystal clear coming out now.
When you put the new rod in, you got fresh tape already on there that's going to stay once you put it in there.
Yes. When I put the new rod in, then that pretty much seals it.
That's like the old rod just to put water in.
Yes. Yep. Put that in. And once you get it in, go ahead and tighten it up. Get it nice and snug. No torque on it. Just nice and snug. Let me just do one more. Yep. Nice and snug. That's it. And then you take it out of bypass mode. Take it out of bypass mode and turn on the switch. And then when you turn on the switch inside, then you can go ahead and, yeah, you can turn the electric on and it'll start making hot water. So while this is filling up, I'm going to go ahead and take this vinegar down to the trash, down to the dumpster, and put this stuff away. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for doing the hot water heater. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe. Ring the bell. Get your notifications when new videos come out. And I certainly appreciate y'all watching. Thanks again. And we will see y'all next time.